Okay, we're live. You know what? The funniest thing happened. I'm using this app for the first time ever. It's called, what's it called? It's right there on the screen. It's called StreamYard. And it turns out I've got to push this button on the top right, which says go live. And if I don't press it, I'm not actually going to be live. So silly me. Well, I actually did like the entire lesson without actually being live. Anyways, welcome. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining this live lesson. Let's get into it. So we're going to get started. This session is going to be all about pronunciation and accents, and we're going to start with three questions that I got from you guys, from you wonderful people who follow me and support me on social media. So let's get to the first question. The first one is from one of my followers. He says, oh, hi, Lolly. Hey, Hemin. Great to see you. We're doing a Q&A, so if you got questions about English, I'm going to take 2 questions today. Feel free to type them in the comments or in the chat, and I'll take them at the end of today's session. All right, so we're going to start with first question. I learn English by watching TV programs and various different kinds of English broadcasts and movies, and I get a lot of input of British English and American English. But when I speak, these 2 influences get me confused, and I don't sound either American or British, and it sounds like I have a mixture of both accents. What do I do? So this was the question that I got. All right, and here's my response, okay? When you say, I don't have the American accent or I don't have the British accent, you're mistaken in that you're assuming that there is only one, and there isn't. There are many different British accents. There are many different American accents. So the reality is that even native British people and native American people, or I shouldn't say native American people because that could mean something else, but Americans and British people don't actually have the standard American accent and the standard British accent. The majority of them don't. So you're going to have, a particular type of accent that, say, for example, celebrities like Gordon Ramsay, Chef Gordon Ramsay, who has the classic TV or movie British accent, right? And when we think British accent, that's what comes to mind. He's a celebrity and he has that profile, which is why his accent is kind of is perceived as this mainstream thing. But the reality, when you actually go and live in the UK and you meet the people who live there and you talk to them, you realize that they all sound different. They actually all sound different. They each sound different depending on which part of the UK they're from. And the same goes for people from America. I have worked with people from various parts of the United States because when I was an English teacher here in Japan, I don't work as an English teacher anymore. When I was teaching English, I had colleagues who were from various different parts of the United States. Some people who were from the north, some people from the south, some who were like from the west, the northwest part, like near Washington and all that, and then people from California and stuff. And they all sound different. None of them sound like me. None of them sound like, people say that I sound American, but I actually don't. I don't sound like actual American people, and none of them sounded like the classic TV, American accent. I'm not even sure which actor or celebrity you'd think of when you think of American accent. I don't know, probably Ben Affleck or something. I don't know. Who are you going to think? Or like Captain America, right? And in fact, even if you think about the Avengers series of movies and you think of each of the characters in that series, in the Avengers movies, they each have slightly different accents. They do. They don't all sound the same. So it's okay to not sound like you have the American accent. It's okay to have your own unique accent. To have a non-Hollywood accent or to have a non-BBC News accent doesn't make you any less of a communicator. If you think about, and when I did my Accent Like a Boss course, this is actually an example that I use in the course. So for those who don't know, Accent Like a Boss is a 90-day or 3-month pronunciation and accent course. It's everything you possibly need to know to get the best pronunciation and accent you can possibly have. We go through all of the sounds, all 44 sounds in the English language. We talk about linking, blending, and we even talk about like variations in those sounds across different accents. We talk about like variations in the Australian and New Zealand accents, various Asian accents, American, British. We talk about all of them. And I actually demonstrate, I'm actually going to do this later today with some of the questions I got. We're going to be using diagrams, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be doing with your muscles to produce these sounds accurately. And I do that in the Accent Like a Boss course as well. So in that course, one example I talk about is Aishwarya Rai. Aishwarya Rai was Miss World in 1998, and she's Indian. She was Miss India, and then she also won Miss World. Or I think it was Miss Universe. It was one of those big beauty, international beauty pageants. And she's an extremely talented, powerful public speaker, and she's confident. She speaks English wonderfully, eloquently, and she has an Indian accent. She has an Indian accent. She doesn't sound American, she doesn't sound British, and she's even acted in English movies that were produced in the United States and in the UK, playing roles where she was speaking English in those movies. So she has no problem whatsoever being understood and being respected with the way that she speaks. She has an Indian accent. It's not very thick. It is somewhat neutral, but it's very clearly Indian. If you listen to her straight away, you're going to know that she is Indian, or at the very least, you're going to think that she's South Asian. And that takes nothing away from how effectively she communicates, right? So there you go. Next question is where we're going to bring up our whiteboard. And let's just take a few comments. I'm just going to run through the comments here after that monologue. Jamal, hey, welcome. I'm going to take that question at the end, okay? What's the best material to use? I'm going to take this question later on at the end, okay? So we'll come back to that. Sunshine, thank you for joining. You are sick. You're feeling a bit ill. I appreciate you joining me for this lesson. Pawan, hey, you joined the Fluency Blueprint course. Welcome to the course. I hope you find it useful. All right, let's bring up a whiteboard. I'm going to go through 2 more questions. Okay, the first one is, first one is going to be this right here. Okay, the question is, how do we pronounce day and they? What's the difference? How do we distinguish these 2 sounds? All right, so first off, let's look at this word on the left, day. By the way, this TH that I've written here is not the phonetic symbol for this sound. I've written it as TH just so that it's easy for you guys to understand. And I've drawn this squiggly line over it to say that it's the voiced TH sound, okay? So day and they. What you're gonna find is with these 2 sounds, day and they are the exact same in almost everything with your articulation system. The articulation system is the parts of our body that we use to produce sound. So like our diaphragm, like our breathing system, not our breathing system, our diaphragm just controls our breathing, our voice box, all the muscles here in our neck, our jaw, and all of these muscles in our face to move our lips, and our tongue. Our tongue is just this one big chunk of muscle. So let's look at what we do with day and they. Day, they, day, they. You're going to notice that my mouth and my lips move almost exactly the same. The only difference is the position of my tongue. Okay, and I'm going to show you with a diagram exactly what's going on. First, day is very similar to the T sound. Sunshine, I don't know anybody who's from California. I might, but I probably just don't remember that they're from California. I'll have to check and get back to you. So let's bring up our whiteboard again. Okay, so first, let's look at this sound, day, and I'm going to draw this on the left. Okay, so this is a side profile of our head. That's a huge chin, but bear with me here. So the first sound, day, this sound is what we're looking at the moment. Our tongue goes right up here. It's in between that point where our teeth, our front teeth, meet our gums up here, our gums, okay, the soft part inside our mouth. So that corner between our front teeth and our gums is where we're going to put our tongue. We're going to push the tip of our tongue there. We're going to block all of the air inside our mouth. So air cannot pass through here, okay? It's going to be blocked, and we're going to build up pressure. Once we build up pressure, we move our tongue out of the way. We move it away, and we open up the space, and then the air flows through. And that's how we make this D sound, okay? It's an explosive, powerful, punchy sound. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you on camera. It looks like this. Okay, so my tongue is pushed right up into the corner between my front upper teeth and my gums. All right, you can see that. And I'm blocking off, like I'm spreading my tongue wide, so it's blocking off the flow of air. Air cannot flow out. I'm building up pressure here. And when I move my tongue out the way, D, 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 D. All right, so that's the D sound. It's similar to the T sound. The only difference with the D is that we're using our voice. With the T sound, we don't use our voice. So T, D, T, D. You can try that. And if you place your hand on your neck with the D sound where your voice is working, you're going to feel a vibration. You're going to feel your voice actually working. Okay, so T, D. All right, we've got that D sound, and we say day, day. All right. Now, the second word, they, the only difference is that first consonant sound. Instead of a D, we have that voiced TH, right? So let's look at that, and I'm going to show you a diagram with how we produce that sound. All right, here we go. So over here, we had the D sound, okay? And over here, this is the TH sound. And the difference is the D sound was here with the tongue position, right? It was here between our teeth and our gums. But what we're doing with the TH sound is we're moving our tongue down, and we're putting it here in between our front teeth, our upper and lower teeth. And that's where we get this TH sound here. And when we use our voice, it becomes the, right? So let me show you what that looks like. The. Same thing. When we put our tongue, instead of up here behind our upper teeth, we're moving it here, the, and we're blocking the air. And when we move our tongue out the way, air flows, and we make that punchy TH sound. The, they, day, they. The only difference there between those two is the position, the starting position of our tongue. And to produce these sounds accurately, what you want to work on is you want to develop the coordination and control of your tongue. It's all about that tongue muscle and having control of it. All right. So practice that, develop the muscle memory, develop the control of your tongue. We're talking about muscles here. It's just like training for a sport. You don't get good at a sport without actually training your muscles and doing the movements. You think about people like Sachin Tendulkar, who are like the best at what they do. He, by the way, if you don't know who Sachin Tendulkar is, he is like arguably the best batsman of all time in the sport of cricket. And you think about how many hours and hours and hours and hours he has spent practicing his batting over, however many years to be the best of, well, arguably the best of all time. So there you go. You've got to develop the control in your muscle, which is your tongue, for these two sounds. Next question. I'm going to bring up my whiteboard again. The next question is, what is the, oh, what was it again? I can't even remember. Let me bring up my whiteboard. I'll probably remember it then. Okay, so we're just going to move across here. There we go. Here's what it was. Okay. How do we make the STS sound? All right, so ST is already a pretty tricky sound because we're going from this mouth position here with the S sound where our teeth are closed and our tongue is like here. And then we're transitioning from this S sound to the T. So we're going from this to this, right? And we can actually make this sound with the ST without actually opening our mouth. We just really have to move our tongue up into this position to stop the flow of air here, right? So that what that sounds like is it sounds like this in the word last, 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 all right? What about if we're saying lasts? For example, winter lasts for 3 months. Winter lasts for 3 months, okay? Lasts is difficult to say. We're transitioning from the S to the T, then to the S sound again. So that's a lot of movement that's going on inside our mouth with our tongue. So how do we do it? Okay, how do we do it without getting tongue-tied? Well, basically, you can slow down, right? Like I just did then, lasts. I slowed myself down so that I can really focus on moving my tongue into those different positions. Lasts, right? But there's also a cheat, a hack, all right? There's an easier way that you can kind of, it's a cheating way to do it, okay? So it's our secret. I'm gonna tell you a secret so you can cheat. But remember, this is a cheat, okay? So it only works if you're speaking reasonably fast and if the context helps you. So for example, in the sentence, winter lasts for 3 months, I can say winter lasts for 3 months. And when I'm speaking at that speed, if you're somebody who understands the language pretty well, even though you cannot hear that T sound, you understand what I'm saying from context. The only word that can fit in that sentence is lasts. There's no other word that can fit there. So what I'm really doing when I use this cheat is I am cutting the T sound, as you can see, whoops, as you can see here, right? So that T sound gets cut and it just sounds like lasts. Winter lasts for 3 months, okay? And that's how you cheat, okay? All right, so there we go. That's the third question. Now, let's take a couple of questions from you guys, and then we're going to wrap up, okay? Jamal asks, what's the best material to use for improving our English? The best material to use for improving your English is whatever is real, relevant, and contextual to you. Okay, now I have a video that explains in a little bit more detail on what that is. And to find that video, you need to head to EnglishLikeABoss.com, EnglishLikeABoss.com. So let me just share my screen with you right here. Boom, my entire screen, application window, and boom. Okay, whoop, you can see me. You can see me and me and me and me. Okay, so this is what my interface looks like, by the way. So this is my course website. This is where you can enroll for my 12-day Fluency Blueprint course. It's just $12 for the whole course, so that's $1 per lesson. And the URL link is EnglishLikeABoss.com. EnglishLikeABoss.com. You'll also find a link to this on my website, which is SpeakLikeDavid.com. And this video here, How to Learn Like a Native. This video explains in more detail what RRC is. Okay, so check out this video, and you're going to have a much better idea on which material is going to be the best for improving your English. Okay, it's whatever is real, relevant, contextual. RRC. is going to be the best material to use. All right. How do I fix mixture? Georgian, we talked about that. So this question, Georgian, we talked about this right at the start of the live. So make sure you check out the recording. It's the first thing we talked about today. Thank you for your question, by the way. Sunshine, no, sorry, I don't have any podcast yet. I'm working a full-time job 6 days a week. I'm on holiday right now, but 6 days a week is pretty tough. I don't get a lot of time to do social media stuff. This is like a rare occasion when I have time, but yeah. And let's go to one more question. Author and Arthur, awesome question, great question. This is precisely what we're talking about, pronunciation. So author and Arthur. How do I make this clear? Okay, author, okay. This is a vowel sound. It's the aw sound. It's a back vowel. If you want to know what back vowels are, you want to check out my course, Accent Like a Boss. I actually explained that in more detail. There, with vowels, there's three ways we can, or there are three groups, or two ways we can categorize them. We can categorize them as front, middle, and back vowels, or we can categorize them as closed, half open, and open vowels, or fully open vowels. So aw is a vowel sound, and it's a back vowel, which means our tongue is kind of doing this. Okay, it's moving itself back. And what we're doing is we're dropping our jaw all the way down. It's fully open. Aw, author. Okay, author. Move your tongue back, drop your jaw all the way down. Aw, right? That's that aw sound. Okay, it's not O, it's aw. So you want to open up your mouth nice and wide, okay? And it's also not ah, okay? Ah is with a different tongue position. You want to move your tongue back, aw, all right? The second word, Arthur, Arthur. With the American accent, they'll enunciate that R, right? So it's R, right? R. And if you want to know how to make the R sound accurately, you want to check out my course, Accent Like a Boss. I'll use diagrams. And then, and that's the only difference. If you're pronouncing it in the British accent, the R sound just becomes an extension of the first, or the previous vowel that precedes it. So let me draw this out for you, actually. I'm going to use my whiteboard. Okay, so first up here, we're going to have, oops, author, okay? And this is that sound where, all right, our tongue is kind of, is pulling itself back, all right, like so, okay? And you've got your jaw all the way open, okay? You're dropping your jaw all the way down, aw, and we're making a round, wide round mouth, a circular lip position like this, right? The next word is Arthur. Okay, now you can enunciate this R sound here, but I'm going to draw out the vowel sound here and show you how that's different to this, okay? So we're going to do this. Oops. Right. Okay. And the tongue is in a relaxed neutral position. Okay. It's not pushing itself forward. It's not coming back. It's just relaxed like this. Whereas for this aw sound, the tongue is being pulled back. With this ah sound, your tongue's relaxed. Okay. So with your jaw position, there are three positions that you need to be familiar with. There's the closed position, okay, with your teeth pretty close together. Then there's the semi-open position where your jaw is kind of relaxed. And then there's the fully open position Okay. So okay. Those are the 3 kind of positions. So it's that middle position, right? It's that middle one, the second one, and your tongue is just relaxed. It's in the middle of your mouth, not doing anything. It's just chilling. Arthur, Arthur, Arthur. Sorry, apologize. It's actually the 3rd position. Drop your jaw all the way down. Your tongue is relaxed. It's Arthur, Arthur. For the second word, by the way, Arthur, Arthur, Arthur. Right? Author, Arthur, author, Arthur. I'm getting myself confused. So the first one, author, is open all the way out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use my diagram. Let me bring up my diagram again. Here we go. All right, so this is going to be stage 3, meaning it's fully open. This is going to be stage 2. All right, so it's half open mouth. Okay, your mouth position here is going to be open a lot wider, and you're also going to have this rounder lip position. This one, your lip position is going to be kind of square rather than round. Arthur. And your tongue is kind of here in the relaxed neutral position. There we go. All right. Thank you all so much for joining. I know there are more questions, but I'm going to be doing more of these lessons. So you got to make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. Turn on notifications. I don't announce when I do these live lessons, these Q&As. So turn on notifications. That's going to be that little bell symbol next to the subscribe button. And once I go live, you'll get a notification on your phone saying, hey, we're doing a live lesson, and you can join. If you join early and you ask your question early, I'm going to take your question because I only have time for a few questions in each of these lessons, okay? So look forward to seeing you in the next YouTube live Q&A lesson, and I'll talk to you then. Take care, be safe, have a wonderful week. Bye.